And we are live. Happy Monday, OxFit Nation. Welcome to week 1 of our summer training cycle. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Week 1, that means we just wrapped up baseline week, and I have a fat stack of scorecards to prove it. You guys did great this past week, and I was so impressed with just the overall, number of attendance we had in the gym, and how good these scorecards were looking by the end of the week. Ant and I came on the podcast last Monday and kind of gave a rundown of what we thought baseline week was going to look like, the workouts we were excited for, how we thought it was going to go, and I think it definitely exceeded expectations. We just came off of our spring cycle, which we said we thought this was the best cycle yet, and I had the same feeling going into this new summer 2025 cycle. Great week of workouts. I think they were all super clear, super effective, really well written, which that's just thanks to the OxFit team. They wouldn't have gotten to where they were without the testing, the retesting, the tweaking things, making sure they were perfect for classes. But yeah, I think we should dive into the workouts we did last week, talk about what we saw in the gym, and how we can keep working on those skills, those movements to get ready for retest week. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and pop up Wodify. Let's see what you guys are looking at. Okay, cool. So Wodify's got a new swanky view, which is awesome for the podcast. But Monday we started off with Rack City and Fight Gone Hybrid. And okay, we're good. Rack City, Fight Gone Hybrid. And Ant and I said this is OxFit. This workout right here. If you liked Fight Gone Hybrid, if you liked the type of lifting that we did, then you just like being here, doing what we do in the gym. I was surprised with Fight Gone Hybrid. I think people didn't know how to handle 3 rounds. We're used to 4 rounds, we're used to 5 rounds. And when I was coaching the workout, I kind of noticed that when people were doing it. I was like, oh no, they're going into this as if they've got 2 rounds left. And really you need to push the pace a little bit sooner, or a lot sooner than you think you do, in order to be able to get all the reps you want out of that workout. But I think towards the end, people realized that they were almost done and they picked up the pace. But I think the big limiter in this workout was that dual dumbbell push press. So if I had to pick one thing that I was excited for athletes to get to work on the rest of this cycle, it was going to be getting better at that dual dumbbell overhead press. We have a ton of overhead pressing in general coming up this summer cycle, so I think we're all going to get so much better at that movement, and we'll be able to get a lot more reps during that minute. The other things, box jumps, burpees, wall balls, I think we're all pretty capable of moving for a minute. Maybe we can get a little bit quicker, but yeah, that push press and then even that D-ball clean, we can definitely get faster and have some room for some more reps to maybe be a little bit more efficient. But this was such an awesome start to the week and a great way to kick off this cycle. And we had some great scores this day. Why is it not scrolling down? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think top end, you could squeeze in, 75, 80 reps per round if we wanted to. I think most people were getting anywhere from like 55 to 65 reps per round, which is great. So there's so much room to grow, room to get fitter and stronger at those movements, which is what we want to see. And then going into Tuesday, this one kind of shocked me because I obviously tested it and I just wasn't expecting to have as much fun as I did. And I don't think anybody else was having or expecting to have as much fun as they did either. It went by quicker than you thought. 12 rounds out the gate kind of sounded like a lot, but I really liked the 90 seconds on and the 90 seconds off. And then those targets were just rude. They were rude. And let's see what did Ant get on this one? Ant says his goal is 300. I'm assuming he's talking about this workout. Oh, that's why this doesn't update as well. That's annoying. Let's get these Couch to Peachtree scores up here. Oh, nice. Oh, Ant did get 300. Oh, he must be talking about the other workout. Ant wants 300 reps for that Fight Gone Hybrid workout. But for this Couch to Peachtree, our targets say, if you got 360 reps for gentlemen, 324 reps or calories for ladies, you would achieve a 6K. And then going down the list, you can kind of see how it follows from there. I think we only had, we had 2 people that got a 6K in that workout, and we had 18 people that did a 5K. But the targets aren't really, it's not important if you did the 5K, if you did the 6K. That was just something fun to look forward to. I think one thing I want to see people work on when we come back to this workout is just because you're not hitting the 5K or you're not hitting the 4K or whatever, don't just give up for 90 seconds. You can still set a target for yourself and try to work towards that during that 90 seconds of work, because I think some people were getting on and just getting a little discouraged and like, well, that's impossible. I can't do that. Well, maybe you can't do the one that's written right here, but there is a target that you could try and hit for each machine. And I know I went out way too hot, and it just kind of not ruined necessarily, but it made the workout a lot more difficult than if I had just paced it and really focused on getting maybe 22 calories every round rather than trying to get that 27. So now I have a better idea of what my targets can be and what I want my overall score to be when I come back to that one. But this one was a lot of fun, and the feedback I got was that everyone enjoyed it. So if you missed this one, don't miss the workouts like it in this cycle, and definitely don't miss it when it comes back around during retest week, because it was a good one. And another one that we had Wednesday that I don't think people realized how tricky it would be to finish is our little body armor workout. So our hero medley, we've got Hero Week coming up at the end of May. And I think a great challenge for everyone Hero Week coming up is to actually finish this mini Murph. 6 rounds for time, and you really have to be hustling to get all 6 rounds in this workout. We had a handful of people that were able to do it, but I think if you went out too hot and, a little bit too aggressive in the first 2 workouts, by the time you got to mini Murph, you were kind of wiped. So you have to kind of play around with everything you have to do before mini Murph to be able to finish it by the time you get there. But that'll be my goal when we retest it, is to get through all 6 rounds of that 100-meter run, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. And you just can't waste time on the transitions. You really got to hustle on the run, immediately do your pull-ups, drop to the push-ups, and hop up and get those air squats done. So that was a great workout. And then the max unbroken plank hold in the beginning was such a fun test. I'm going to put a time cap when we do it again, because some people were holding planks for like 5-6 minutes. Charlotte, Shelby, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. So I'm going to put a time cap on you guys so you're not holding a 10-minute plank. Or you guys can come early before class starts and you can start planking while people are getting there. That'll be our compromise. But we'll definitely have a time cap when we come back to that workout. And after our Hero Week, man, we had a packed Monday through Thursday. It was a lot of work getting through all of these workouts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But luckily this one kind of wrapped up our baseline week with some quick barbell work. And this one got people. It was fast. It was a relatively light barbell. And if you were using a weight and you were able to hang on to that bar during the entire 2 minutes, you were able to squeeze in 4 rounds perfectly right into that 2 minutes. So it made it interesting to see what other reps you could grab on top of that. Or maybe for you, 3 rounds fit perfectly within those 2 minutes. So when this workout comes back around, just kind of think about that. Like, oh, I was, ending with exactly 2 rounds, exactly 3 rounds. So how can we push the pace to get a few more reps and just be a little bit more efficient on the bar? You'll notice if we go through the scores, there's lots of solid numbers. So people were getting, like complete rounds. And then we have a lot of, 9 plus 1, 10 plus 1. So they were able to squeeze in one double under or whatever it may have been. So this will be a fun one to retest and see what else we can add on. I don't know how Lauren's going to get any more reps. That's insane. 17 plus 17. I think that's because her and Lisa were racing each other. That's another thing. Stand in front of somebody, find somebody to race during that workout, see if you can keep up with them. And then, of course, we had another lift, that 1 rep, 3 rep, 5 rep. For cleanup, we saw the same setup on Monday with Rack City. We saw it again on Thursday. So lots of opportunity to get fitter this cycle, lots of opportunity to get stronger this cycle. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And then we all know Friday we had our little makeup day. And Saturday, if you guys did not come, you missed out big time. We had our High Rocks Strong event, which is over here. Let's get rid of this leaderboard, pop up this workout. We had lots of options for this High Rocks Strong. So basically what we did, if you missed it, we took all the running out of High Rocks and we hosted all the stations as a workout here in Grant Park. So you could have done it as a team, you could have done it as an individual, and you just go straight down the list as fast as you can. And it was a blast. We had a great turnout on Saturday morning, and we even have a little recap on Instagram that we can watch. This was our team High Rocks. There we go. We did have a crew of High Rocks athletes, the ones that are actually competing in the official High Rocks this weekend. They added a little 2.5 mile run before and after this workout, and then we got busy inside. And man, our athletes are fit. The way that we're pulling these sleds, moving these weights, doing these burpee box jumps, like I can't wait to see how everybody does at the official High Rocks event on Saturday. And maybe Ant can help me out with this. Ant, how many total athletes do we have competing on Saturday? It's over 20, I think. Over 20 athletes competing in the Atlanta High Rocks this Saturday. It's going to be awesome. This is what we've been training for. This is why we sign up for stuff like that, because we want to, see the results of all of our hard work, all the training we do in the gym. And, we haven't been doing anything other than our regular class workouts, which is the really cool thing about it, is that we're able to sign up for these events and just rely on the programming and the training that we do here in the gym. So yeah, all in all, it's a great week, and the scorecards prove it. There's so many people that have just fully filled out scorecards, which is amazing, and I really want us to stick to this cycle, even with vacations coming up. I know it's summertime, people go out of town, that's fine, but just try to get right back to it as soon as you're back in the gym. Don't miss an extra day more than you already have to. And really just let's try to get the most out of summer 2025, because it's going to be amazing. And some of my coach's notes this week for you guys, we're here, it's Monday. It's week 1 of our summer training cycle. So we conquered baseline week, and now what? Now what do we do? So my advice is, I say it all the time, we need to set a goal for ourselves. And it needs to be something that's realistic for you. If you were on the Ox list this past cycle, your goal can't be come to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. We know you can do that. That's too easy. If you struggle to come to the gym, maybe you only come once a week. Maybe your goal is to be on the Ox list for summer 2025. But we need to find something that keeps us focused and keeps us showing up to the gym even when the motivation isn't there, because the motivation is not going to last. It doesn't last for anybody. So let's figure out what we want to do. Do you want to sign up for the Peachtree Road Race and make sure every week you are not missing those cardio-focused workouts here in the gym like you saw during baseline week with Couch to Peachtree? Do you want to sign up for our next round of DECA events? We have a ton of DECA stuff coming up at the end of June, which is going to be, it's a little over 2 months away, 8 to 10 weeks away. That's the perfect time frame to set some really clear, short-term, like attainable goals. And we would love to work with you to help you figure that out. And the title of this episode is Let's Get Ripped. And I called it that because myself, some other members of the OxFit team, our goal for this summer cycle is to do just that. It's to get ripped. We want to be the fittest, the strongest, the most jacked we've ever been, and we want to look like it too. So we're going to get a little vain. We're going to focus a little bit more on that physique, body composition, how do we feel when we work out? How do we look when we work out? We want to be able to take our shirts off at the beach this summer. We want our abs to be showing. We want our biceps to be popping. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have any type of goal, whether it's to look better, to feel better, to perform better in the gym, then you need to reach out and you need to ask for help. Because if you have never been able to set a goal, to actually write down a plan and execute that plan and achieve your goal, that means you need help. And most of us do need help. I need someone to help me set and achieve goals. Coach Caitlin needs someone to help her set and achieve goals. Coach Whitney, all the clients that we currently work with, and that could be you too. And you could make summer 2025 the most successful cycle you've had here at OxFit. If you're a person whose card is in this pile, if you're a person that came at least 3 to 4 times a week this baseline week, you have the foundation and the potential to get real results in summer 2025. And all you need to do is reach out. Shoot me an email. I'm going to contact a lot of people that is in this pile and see what you guys want to get done before July. Because if you showed up and you put in all that hard work during baseline week, I know you're capable of keeping it up and putting in the work the rest of this cycle. So I really hope you guys lean into it. You set some big goals for this summer, and we work together, and we get ripped, and we conquer it together. Hope you guys have an awesome week. I'll see you in the gym. If not, I will see you right back here next Monday for our next week in review. Let's go.